the answer is yes, you should tune with your capo. There are certain guitars. I'm thinking of one student in particular who I taught for many years. His guitar, you could slap on a capo and it seemed to stay in almost perfect tune. I don't know why. It wasn't a better guitar than my guitar. He may have had a little lower action. That may have been part of it. I think he used the same capo as I use. Here's the deal. In order to play your song with proper intonation, which means like, intonation is like, okay, so you've got all your open strings perfectly tuned up. Now when you start fretting stuff, is it still in tune? Easy way to check your intonation is to compare your open string to your 12th fret. The 12th fret should be exactly 1 octave higher. And if that 12th fret note is out of tune, even though your open string is in tune, you've got a problem. Your problem may be user error. You might be pressing too hard or bending the string. Very easy to do, especially on the 6th string of a guitar. But it also might need a setup, or it wasn't built well to begin with and it would need some major structural changes. Usually it's just a setup, which is a series of adjustments that a guitar tech can make, adjusting the curvature, the neck, adjusting how the nut slots are cut, adjusting the bridge, things like that. So anyway, slapping on a capo tends to totally throw off your tuning because in order to have proper intonation on a guitar, you can't press super hard on the strings because pressing really hard is going to stretch that string and make it go sharp. So you need to have kind of a delicate touch. This is less true on an acoustic guitar, incidentally. Electric guitars are typically strung with lighter gauge strings. They're under less tension. They're a little easier to play, but also you need a more delicate touch. So the next time you see some like 7-foot tall, 300-pound hairy Hessian up there playing death metal and he's swinging his head around and like, kicking over speakers, appreciate that that guy is actually fretting quite lightly on his guitar if he's playing in tune. And so there's subtlety going on down below the surface there that you might not see as you're watching your favorite death metal band. Acoustic guitars are more forgiving, but you can still definitely fret them too hard and bend the strings, especially out of tune if you're being too aggressive with your fretting. And that's a common problem with beginners because they don't know how hard they need to fret. They just default by like stranglehold on their chords. So a capo is going to do that same stranglehold. A capo has, like the Kaiser capos that I like, I don't know where mine went, they have a really strong spring in it. And it's just, because they want to make sure that their capo works. And so it's got a really strong clamp on it, and it puts a much more pressure on your strings than your fingers are going to. And as a result, it tends to throw your guitar a little sharp. And so, yes, you should tune your guitar after you put on your capo. There are other kinds of capos besides the Kaiser capo, like the Shub capo that uses a little screw and post where you can fine tune the amount of pressure that it gives. And, if you're one of those people who like to fuss with your gear and optimize everything, you can find the perfect length of that little post so that you clamp on that Shub and it just gives enough pressure to keep the strings from rattling on the fret, but not so much pressure that it throws your guitar out of tune. For me, I just like using a Kaiser capo because it's convenient to stick it on the headstock of the guitar, and I just retune when I stick on the capo. Usually the 6th string is the greatest offender, so even if you just retune your 6th string after you put on a capo, that will often get you like 80% of the way to getting your guitar back in tune. Hey, I hope you liked this lesson. If you did, please click the like button. You can also subscribe to my channel. And if you really want the good stuff, become a member of Heartwood Guitar. You can click the link below to learn more. Hope to see you there. Take care.